My dear students, British philosopher, British scholars, British economists who were known as polymath, now they were talking about how mathematics can be used in business, and they were known as mercantilists. Business people were known as mercantilists. Economists were known as polymath. And of course, in those days, England was known for their best wool. Wool trade, textile trade was known from coming out from the Britain. And naturally, since they were more focused on being mercantile, the concept of the money and the taxation presented by Sir William Parry and his ideas influence in Scotland and Ireland and France, opened new doors for opening up Bank of England and Bank of Scotland. And keeping this in mind, we will see how the business ideas were emerging independently through the cultural and intellectual traditions of British and France. And of course, Germany was also there. English economy, of course, was growing on the basis of the wool trade and textile business. Wool industry was known all over the world and all over Europe and attached with British industry. School of France and the universities in France, or the कह लीजिए कि French ideas, they were more focused towards the agriculture related commodities and crops. And they were known as physiocrats. These physiocrats, they believed more on agriculture resources, and they thought that the only source of wealth can be agriculture. Basic difference आ गया ना? वो लोग इंग्लैंड में बिजनेस और इंडस्ट्री और खास तौर पर वूल इंडस्ट्री और टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री पे फोकस कर रहे हैं. French, they were more interested still in agriculture, knowing that this real source should not be ignored and all the other wealth should be developed and derived from the agriculture wealth. अपना अपना आइडिया है, अपनी अपनी रीजनिंग है, अपना अपना आर्गुमेंट है. Of course, French also called for rigor in scientific discipline, and they were asking for the commerce ideas as well, like the mercantilists of England. Physiocrats, they had their important influence on various parts of the Europe, especially the Enlightenment scholars in Scotland. They were more interested in reading how the wealth was being developed from the agricultural resources. And around 1776, Adam Smith, being a Scottish philosopher and a Scottish economist, he published his book, Wealth of Nations. और उस वक्त नेशंस का तस्वर क्या था? फ्रांस, Germany and England. And here is a Scottish philosopher writing a book, Adam Smith. और Adam Smith की ही philosophy economics की आज भी पढ़ाई जाती है. उसके concept he argued. देखिए वो जो concept हैं वो argument के जरिए से उसने present किए कि कौमें कैसे wealth को develop कर सकती हैं. He presented the idea of the free market. Let the market be free and the agents should be allowed freely. So free thinking, free speech, free market. Attach कर लीजिए ना उसके साथ. Free trade. और free trade के साथ आज भी जो concept attach है वो invisible hand. इसलिए कि जब free trade होगी मैथमेटिक्स आप इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो मोनोपोली का तसव्वुर तो फिर आएगा ना। और मोनोपोली का तसव्वुर इकोनॉमिक्स में तो बहुत बिजनेसमैन पसंद करते हैं कि किस तरह से शुगर की मोनोपोली क्रिएट की जाए, किस तरह से पोल्ट्री की मोनोपोली क्रिएट की जाए। ये तो आज की बातें हैं ना। उस जमाने में कैसे वूल की मोनोपोली, वूल ट्रेड की मोनोपोली, शिपिंग की मोनोपोली, स्टील इंडस्ट्री की मोनोपोली क्रिएट की जाए। और मोनोपोली इज ए मैथमेटिकल गेम। सो दीज वर द कॉन्सेप्ट, फ्री मार्केट, फ्री ट्रेड एंड डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर। अब उस लेबर को आप चाहे एग्रीकल्चर के साथ अटैच कर दीजिए या लेटर ऑन इंडस्ट्रियल लेबर के साथ अटैच कर दीजिए। तो ये तो आर्गुमेंट्स थे, लेकिन ये आर्गुमेंट जो आदम स्मिथ के थे, इसने एक पूरी नई जनरेशन को इन्फ्लुएंस किया। उस जनरेशन में पूरे यूरोप के अंदर रिकार्डो बीइंग एन इटालियन इकोनॉमिस्ट, बेंथम, जेम्स मिल ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमिस्ट, एंड स्पेशली हिज सन जॉन स्टुअर्ट मिल का नाम इकोनॉमिक्स में आज भी यूज होता है। They were all economists and they were influenced by the arguments of Adam Smith. English mercantilists, they believed that the business should be private and there should be more export than imports. इसलिए कि उनकी कॉलोनीज थी और उन कॉलोनीज के अंदर जब वो एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे तो वहां से नेट इनफ्लो ऑफ करेंसी, मनी की सूरत में जब आएगा तो इंग्लैंड की इकोनॉमी को स्ट्रांग करेगा। एंड ऑफ कोर्स डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वाज बीइंग फोकस्ड एंड इंग्लिश मर्केंटलिस्ट फेल्ट कि दिस इकोनॉमी बिल्डिंग should be done on the basis of the private sector. So in other words, the government administration should not involve in business or in free market. And commerce, of course, trading, of course, was argued that it should be science. It should be on the basis of the objective evidence. Taxation, money, currency related issues, they should be scientific. And when you say scientific, it means try to exploit and try to manipulate for yourself. And the self-love for money, self-love for business, self-love for exploitation also became the scientific principle. तो इन सारे प्रिंसिपल्स को सामने रखिए और फिर देखिए कि क्या बिजनेस का सिनेरियो इमर्ज होगा और 21st सेंचुरी तक पहुंचते पहुंचते फिर किस तरह से ये मोनोपोली और ओलिगोपोली का रोल फ्री मार्केट के अंदर आपको नजर आएगा।